Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oracle Mom Cafe podcast. I am your host, Tony Lynn, and today we are taking a moment out of our day to just pause and look at the card that we have for our reading. So today's card comes from Healing Energy Cards, and this is a deck by Leanne Peters from Temple of Balance in Australia. Our card today is 73 and it's Break the Spell. So if you are watching the podcast, you can see the card, but if you're just listening, it looks like a container that would hold something and it's like broken, like a spell container, and it's like broken. And there's colors of pinks and blues and greens and just a lot of energy around it because it has been broken from the inside, right? So this card says unbinding contracts, obligations, and promises once made. Release from the narcissist. Waking up, realization of living a lie, influence, and truth. So this card today comes as an understanding that whatever you are facing, you have been able to do enough internal work and enough healing that you've broken the spell, the energy over top of this situation. For a lot of you, you could have a person who may have been blindsiding you again and again and again. And maybe you thought you knew this person or you trusted this person. You made excuses for the situation or the person because you might be somebody who always likes to see the positives in everything, especially like people. You're one of those where you always give everyone the benefit of the doubt and you kind of like subconsciously make excuses for people's behaviors, thinking that they're doing the best that they can do, no different than you. Like if you wouldn't do it, then you don't have a tendency of thinking that way. But this is saying that because you chose to love yourself, because you chose yourself, and because you chose to heal, and I feel like for a lot of you, you didn't heal loudly, you healed quietly, which was very intelligent and smart to do. It was just kind of like you healing with the universe, healing with God, source, creator, your ancestors, your spirit team. You went in without needing anybody else to know or accompany you. You just went full force in with the creator. And because of that, nobody knew that you were actually doing the healing on the level that you were doing it. They all just, they saw you showing up for this, showing up for that, doing your daily routines and things like that. So they may not have realized the amount of healing that you were actually putting into this situation into yourself. So they're thinking one thing like, oh, I got this under control, everything's fine, I can manipulate, I can do this and that, and it's all good. Meanwhile, you're over here making a complete transformation in the quietness, in the calm, in the silence. And because of all that work that you have been doing, you literally broke the spell that was held over you in the subconscious, in the spiritual, in the mental, emotional area. And for some of you, you are now walking away in the physical. But when we break the spell, it's what really breaks the spell is knowing who you are on the inside, knowing who you truly want to be, and loving yourself, forgiving yourself, allowing yourself to heal from situations and people and experiences, telling yourself that you deserve the healing because life is really about learning and experiencing and then transforming whatever we learn and experience into knowledge and understanding. Whatever the situation is, because this is a collective, so it's going to be different for each one of you. For some of you, it might be a situation with your job or company or an organization or group of people. For others, this might just be a simple one-on-one situation with someone. But you've really mastered the understanding of seeing yourself for who you are and walking through your shadows. And because you chose to walk through your shadows, you met all of them. Like you sat down with each one of them. And as you loved yourself and as you saw the reasons why this occurred, that occurred, you did this, you allowed this, you didn't stop this. Like as you look at your shadows show you where you were lacking self love, where you were lacking boundaries, not showing up for yourself. Letting others tell you who you were, not feeling like you were good enough are capable enough. When you transform yourself on the inside, especially when you do it without anybody knowing that you're doing it, and you just do it one on one with Source, Creator, God, your spirit team, ancestors, when you do that level of healing without anyone knowing the progress that you're making, you flip the coin. You stop the train right in its tracks. You become the phoenix and you rise from the ashes before anybody even realizes that you've come out of the fire. You therefore crack the spells that are put over you because they have no hold anymore because you're not that person. When somebody is trying to control you with words, behavior, actions, manipulation, whatever that is, they're putting that spell based off of who you are in that particular moment. So if you were someone who was weak, trustworthy, self-sabotaging, or didn't know who you were or your self-worth, that's the spell work that was going over top of you at that time, over that energy that you were holding yourself in. But when you show up for yourself, when you love yourself, when you say, I deserve to be happy, I deserve to heal, I deserve to call my energy back and be a better person for myself, not for anybody else outside of me, but just for me. I need to show up for me. I need to love me. I need to find who I am because this situation or this energy that I'm in is not truly what I want. It's not truly me, right? So when you show up for yourself and you start transforming all these energies, any kind of spell work, any kind of behaviors put over you, any kind of expectations that somebody else is using, black magic, whatever it is, none of it has any foundation to stand on anymore because it was built off of the person that you no longer are. So the best way to break spell work is to love yourself. Love yourself more. Raise your vibration, raise your frequency. Remind yourself of your value. Remember, your value is never told by somebody else outside of you. Your value is what you think of yourself. Everything else is just an opinion. You showing up for yourself and showing up for God, Source, Great Spirit. That is building a relationship between you and your creator. And once you build that relationship, once you establish that level of love within yourself, within your heart, then you no longer seek any kind of understanding of how people see you, love you, respect you, want you outside of you because you know your worth. You know your worth to the creator who put you here. You know your worth to yourself because when you build that connection between you and Source, Source lets you feel how much you really are loved. Source lets you know how valuable you are. Source lets you understand that you're not this. You're not what you've done or the way you've been. And that healing doesn't need validation from anything else because you got it from the source that created you itself and you hold it within yourself. So it doesn't need any validation from anything, anyone, anywhere outside of you. And when you do that, the person who has a narcissistic energy, because remember, people are narcissists um, because they hold that energy, they hold that frequency. They haven't done the healing that they need to do to release that energy that they're displaying. And that's the way that we call it. That's the name that we give it. Releasing yourself from that energy. That's what I would sooner say. Because you healed, you broke the spell that this situation or these people or this person or even yourself had over you and you are no longer able to be under this control, whether it's mind, emotion, whether it's physical, whatever. You're no longer influenced by it because you've transformed it. So nothing's going to, what somebody says or threatens or tries to manipulate or, throws out your name, whatever, what you're going to see it for the truth. If it's a workplace and you're getting slandered at work and somebody's blaming stuff on you, you're going to see it as a truth. You're going to see it as, okay, this person just doesn't want to own up to anything. The control, the needing to be respected, needing to be loved, accepted, needing to argue and prove your point, like all of that, it becomes unimportant because you're no longer at that frequency. You're not on the frequency of confrontation, anger, drama. You're not there anymore. And because of that, this energy being directed at you no longer has an effect. And that is how you break this spell. It has nothing to do with the outside source as much as it does with breaking it within, making yourself completely different than the person that you were when that worked. And this is where we have to really watch because when you are doing this, you want to keep it silent. You want to go within. You want to do a retreat by yourself. You don't want to tell everybody what you're doing because not everybody wants to see that for you. Not everybody wants to see you heal because if they're not healing, then how could you do it? You're making them look bad. You're healing and they're not. So therefore they become jealous, they become frustrated, they become angry. And therefore they have a tendency to throw negative energy at you, trying to keep you from seeing yourself in a better light. For some of you, people might try to find gossip on you or dig up stuff on you, take you back to your past, try to make you feel like, that you're not the same person you used to be. You're different. That's because they were able to manipulate you. They were able to tell you what to do and you did it. They were able to say something that made you feel smaller than an ant and it worked. They were able to pull you back down and keep you there because you were stuck in your own mind because of what they did or said or whatever. And they were a huge influence on whether or not you healed. But because you chose to just go quiet, because you could see who around you was supporting you and who around you was creating a lot of it, because you pulled your power back and you said, okay, creator, source, my ancestors, spirit team, whoever you reach out to, let's do this. I'm 100% in, let's do this. Because you chose that path, you no longer are accessible to the spell and those that want to put it over you or control you or whatever. You no longer are accessible to that. So this card is a validation that you need to keep moving forward. You need to keep showing up for you. You need to prove to yourself that you can move past anything. You can take what has happened and you can alchemize it. You can make it into something beautiful, powerful, strong. And because of that, the creator is also going to help you to use what has happened to you to also empower others. Because the people that didn't want to see you rise, they're going to be able to see you rise, knowing that they helped to fuel your fire. That what they were doing was the opposite effect of what they were hoping for. And the people that need to do the same thing are going to see you and see how you did it. And then they're going to be like, oh man, I can do it. How do I do that? And you're going to show others, you're going to lead others to the path that they need to walk with source, with self-love, with inner connection to self. And because of that, you are taking everything that was meant to stop you, everything that was meant to cause you to not be able to move out of this low energy, and you are able to move into a completely different direction. Whoever, I'm talking to, whatever your situation is, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't listen. And if anybody is coming at you with any kind of behavior, that doesn't support you in a positive way, then that's a red flag. That they are the ones who are trying to keep you from succeeding, from overcoming. And I'm not saying that's everybody, because some people, they don't even see their reflection in the mirror as bad. They don't even realize the energy that they're holding. Some people, it may just say these things, do these things because it is just something that they're used to seeing, grew up with, and doing. It doesn't make an excuse for their behavior towards you, but it helps you to understand why they think that that kind of behavior is normal, because it's just their life. It's a life that they haven't gotten themselves away from. You, on the other hand, you were able to say, enough is enough. I don't want to do this to myself. I don't want to become this. I don't want to go down this road. I don't want to end up like this. And because of you showing up and saying, I don't, you began to say, I want better. I want healed. I want happiness. I want productivity. I want my life back. And because you chose to change the energy that you were allowing, that put you on the healing path. So that's not saying that somebody else next to you isn't capable of doing it too. They might just need to realize that they are lovable and that they are loved and they deserve to move out of this rut that they're in, this energy that they're in, and choose themselves. Trust that you are on the right path. There's a realization, it says a realization of living a lie. Well, I think for a lot of you, for some of you, it might be time to get out of a situation, a job. Maybe you're surrounding yourself with negative people that just they don't feed your soul the right way. It might be time to just make that job change. For others, it could be your circle. It might be time to start saying goodbye to your people that you considered friends. Just because you grew up with them, just because they were there from childhood, doesn't mean that they are good for you or that they want to grow with you, right? Doesn't mean they're bad either, but maybe they just don't want to grow with you. You could be the type of person who wants to believe that everything's great, my family's great, my life's great, my friends are great, but it's because you don't want to see the truth and not the whole situation. And that can be the realization of living a lie. Understanding that there's a lot that isn't great, and that's where you need to accept and let the great creator source to decide where you're going to go from there, what you're going to do from there. But realization of living a lie has to come from the truth within of understanding what you want in your life. You could be living a lie. You could be telling yourself that you're this and this, and going through this transformation, you realize how you really do feel. For some people, you could find out truth. I know someone that found out truths about their life. There's a lot of things in their life that was a lie. Their family was a lie. And these people knew and kept it a lie. So for some people, that realization of living a lie, you may be going through that right now. And if you are, I'm sorry that you are going through that. But know that source lets you know things in divine timing. And if you're finding out that somebody is living a double life, or you're finding out that, who you thought was your family isn't, or you're finding out that your friends aren't really your friends and they've just been lying, or the people at work don't really support you and they're doing things like whatever. If you're walking in your story and it has to do physically with lies around you and stuff, just know that it's divine timing. Everything is working out the way it's meant to, so that you can see it and acknowledge it and understand the truth about it. And yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to be hard to maybe understand and wrap your head around it, but don't try too hard. Like I told someone the other day, if you don't understand something, that's a good thing. That can mean that you're just not on that level, and that's not bad. Sometimes it's good not to be on that level. That means that you are choosing better for yourself and you're not that kind of a person. Sometimes it's good that we don't understand. We're not meant to understand. Source understands, creator understands, and that's all that matters. It's just give it to source, give it to creator, and just trust that you don't need to understand. You just need to work through it, right? you don't want to understand, because in order to understand, maybe that means you got to come down to that level, and you don't want to come down there. You've done too much work to come down there. So, congratulations on breaking this spell. If you're in the process of breaking the spell, keep going. Don't give up. If you broke the spell, remember boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Because a lot of times when you break spells that people have been able to have over you, manipulate over you for a long time, they don't they don't like it. They don't like the happy. They don't like it. They don't like to see you succeeding. They don't like to see you doing good. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you enjoying your life. Like, they want you to be miserable. That's what makes them happy. That's what makes them feel like they're successful and they're succeeding and all this. Stay prayed up. If you're a person of prayer, stay in your prayers, turn to meditation, set with yourself, ask for protection over the situation, because a lot of times, that they'll be retaliating. They don't like to lose, or they don't want to see you succeed, one of those kinds of things. And just send them prayer. Pray for your enemies. Pray that they are protected and kept away from you, and that their hearts are shifted, and things. Pray for them to receive the help that they need, because it takes a sad person to want to do this to another person. It takes some darkness to want to do this to another person. Be mindful, keep working on yourself so that you are breaking away from any kind of energy, frequency, whatever that doesn't serve you. Tell yourself, that you can do better, that you are worthy, and keep moving towards your goals. Stay goal oriented. Stay away from the environment that has caused these conditions. So be mindful of the people that you choose, because you don't want to like move out of this job and then go to another job that has the same people. Be mindful of the energy that you welcome and that you have in your surroundings. Focus on yourself, love yourself, and raise your energy, because when you raise your energy, then you're going to identify a lot faster with people who resonated with the old you. You're going to see the same mask on different people. So you're going to be able to have discernment better. You're going to be able to say, no, sorry, not interested. No, no, thank you. Before you allow this situation to occur with different people or a different person, you're going to be able to know, okay, this is what I need to look for, or this is what I need to avoid. Um, and you're gonna be able to tell people, no access, no access, access denied. That's no longer accessible. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to put your boundaries down. And if they don't approve of it, that's not your problem. They just have a problem with you not allowing them access to you, because they feel that they're entitled. And nobody's ever entitled to you. Other than maybe your own children, whenever you're raising your children, things like that, but nobody's ever entitled to you. It is an honor to be in your energy, because you were picked to be here on earth at this time. So you have great wealth and abundance and love in your energy. So you should never feel that you have to put yourself lower than somebody else, or that you have to allow access because you're not as good. That's not true. You're just as worthy as someone else. Keep working on yourself. Keep moving forward. You're doing a great job. And I am so grateful that you are here. Thank you for joining us. Excellent work. This is not easy work. There's a lot that goes into this that a lot of people don't know and don't understand. And sometimes you just can't put this kind of work into words. But just know that you and your ancestors, your spirit team, God, source, creator, knows what you've done. And that's all that really matters. You know what you've done, and that's all that truly matters. And now that this spell is broke, or now that you're in the process of breaking the spell, you're going to see your life change. So keep moving forward, stay positive. Many, many blessings to you, and I hope to see you in the next one.